This is the best beef jerky in the world. If you are watching this show and you have the hookup on where we can put Western Survivor beef jerky, this company is an arm wrestling beef jerky company. As this product does good, so does arm wrestling. Does everyone understand that?
All right. I love beef jerky. Send me my package. I need to taste it so I can talk about it like Travis.
I got some elbow pain. Hold on. Hold on.
Jamie, NatFit, since 2017, he's got big plans for the sport of arm wrestling. 2021, we're glad to have him on board. He's got over 20 different products that range from, kids to old people. So check it out. Jamie Sheldon, NatFit. Bam.
Jamie did not want to be the second sponsor and for you to give him that introduction. What he paid for was for the beast to say, welcome aboard, Jamie. We love you. The community loves you.
We do. Not just because you have Arm TV tattoo. He's a genuine good dude.
They don't make him any better than that dude. Yes, okay. Finally, it was you that was the dumb fuck with the headphone. What's up, bro?
Bagent, Beauty and the Beast, chapter 45? 46?
45. 40. If 45. I get one more check in the mail, I'm canceling this show. Woo! What is that? What is that? Whoa. Does my name, Beauty and the Beast, or Unfiltered on there anywhere? What is it? What is it? What is it?
Western Survivor.
Yeah, they came through for not just me, but for Gary as well.
Ooh, teriyaki. Teriyaki.
Got all kinds of flavors. Chipotle.
Or let's try the original.
Hot jerky.
Original. Okay, so
what a cool dude. So listen, you got to get a big hunk of it like Redman and put it in that jaw and just let it set there. Just let it set there. And bliss is coming, dude. Bliss.
It smells good.
That's the best beef jerky in the world, dude, right there.
So I spoke to him on the phone. Seems like a great dude. I couldn't get a sense of like how big they are, like how much, like his.
Get a big hunk of that, put it in that jaw, man. Put it in that jaw. Just put it back there. Put it back there and just let it set. It's going to double. It's going to double in size here in about 8 minutes. Just put it back there. Just suck on the juice. Do not swallow it. Red man. Let it set there, baby. Big hunk up. Chew on it a little bit, get it soft, and put it back there. See what you think.
So I spoke to him, and it sounds like.
Hold up. My elbow. Oh, my goodness. My elbow. I'm not sure if you guys know, but you can buy this right now, Gary.
Yeah, so there's a link?
There's a link at travisbagent.live. You can buy this salve, put it on that elbow, and you're back to work tomorrow. I mean, do I look a little different to you right now? Can you tell that I'm expanding? I'm becoming something else? Can you tell?
Are you been training?
Woo! Have I been training? Ever since I got on this modern sport. Super collagen running through my body. I feel like I'm 35 years old, Gary.
Well, you're going to have to get me some of that product before I can start promoting it.
You're right.
Collagen. I thought, now I spoke to these people. I thought that was for lips, like lip
I
pumping.
know. You ruined the entire freaking meeting by saying that.
Okay, so before we get going, I have to tell you that I discovered vintage Travis Bagent
Footage.
Vintage, not footage, ARMTV radio. And I'm gonna insert it.
Is it bad?
No, it's classic.
Am I the same person or am I different?
I'm not gonna spoil it. All
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you is I'm gonna insert it
Now,
after this. I'm gonna insert it. Then
insert
I'm
it
gonna
right after you mentioned the Mountaineer Pub, because that's the host of the true West Virginia State Championships coming soon.
Okay, so people at home,
COVID permitted.
This interview that you're about to listen to is, let me set the stage. It's 2005.
2005.
And I'm fascinated with Travis Bagent's interacting with people on the internet. So I read some quotes from him responding to people like, I am the king. And then I ask him about it. I ask him to go into his reasons why he comments the way he does. And it's classic Travis. And what's even better is that it totally, I mean, here we are right now chatting. This was 15 years ago. You and me. So
people ask me all the time. They're like, dude, why are you hanging with Gary? Get away from Gary. Gary's ruining the brand. I tell them Gary is the brand.
Bro, that if it says anything, it says about us. Like we've done this before.
We don't want to hear all that bullshit about your getting in and you got a dream and we've all done it wrong for 20 years. I had a conversation the other day with one of my teammates. I put together this team. I don't know. Have you, if I told you to tell me what my team was, you know, do you know who my team is? Do you think?
Hold on.
What's up? You're expanding. That jerky's expanding.
Can you hear me smacking? I don't want to hear me.
All I know is you went from casually putting a Skittle in your mouth. Now you've got a whole freaking Laffy Taffy in there trying to maneuver around. That thing's gotten bigger, right?
It's good.
I told you. Interesting how he did this.
It almost feels like to me like I could become a salesman if I wanted to go door to door to my 7-Elevens to try to get them to stock Western Survivor. He would take me on.
All you do is walk in there, zip it on, give him a big hunk of it, tell him to put it in the side of his jaw. Go to the next store, give that guy a big hunk, tell him to put it in his jaw. Go back to the other store. Now it's already expanded, and he's like, I'm in. It's all good.
But the thing is, I don't know if I have time to be an employee of Western Survivor. I'm behind. I'm in. I'm a winner.
Oh, yeah. I think you are more the customer.
Yeah.
I will take care of all the salesmen. I've already got this. I got this stuff going in all the convenience stores in my little town. The Rock's convenience stores are privately owned by Roach Energy. And just so happens the owner knows someone that loves the beast. So he's got a side of this in his jaw too. And that's how I'm going to do it. That's how I'm going to handle it. And I will then put Western Survivor up against any beef jerky company in the world, starting with beef jerky.
Beef.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, get
Cody Merritt, Michael Todd. What's the other bum's name? Corey West.
Okay, listen. They sent me a message. They want
Don't
to
ever
send me
say
some
their
product.
name on my fucking show. What is wrong with you?
They sent me a message, and listen, sponsors, I'm down with having product, especially something as tasty as this. But I will.
Can't give you that taste, baby. That taste is Western Survivor.
But my end game is I want sponsorship money so I can give away to arm wrestlers. So I don't know how this translates to me being able to fund things, but just know the guys.
Let's be completely honest, Gary. Someone very soon is going to write one of us a check that we have to then call the other one and say, yo, all jokes aside, the only product we talk about from now on is Mountain Dew. Whatever it is. But until that day, let's show them what we can do for them.
Yeah.
If they want to write us a check. They're all in trouble. Anybody who has been featured on this show is subject to be dismissed as soon as the right check rolls in.
Because I was thinking about, I was like, all right, we plugged, I plugged. But like at the end of the day, one, Adam, I'm going to need more than. Are you trying to get
Gary?
No. Are you trying to get me hooked on crack?
Don't ruin it for all of us, okay?
I'm just saying.
Don't ruin it for all of us. Don't go on a binge. Don't go on a binge like it was 2002 and eat all of that beef jerky today, and then now we got a problem with Western Survivor.
I'm just saying,
Western Survivor.
I know, but if we're gonna have a relationship, Adam. This is
Adam. It's either product or a check. You got to do one of them, or Gary is going to get fed up with me.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
I mean, you would think I was getting paid by the way I'm advertising this.
Okay, that was good.
All
now
right,
back to the team. If I were to pick your team, are you asking me?
Yeah, just my money team. The team of guys that I got around me now that help me, advise me, and help fund the train. Do you know who the team is?
I'm not really.
All right, I'm going to say a name. You tell me. You know Lance Hunt? You know Lance Hunt?
Yeah. Yes.
That's a big part of the money team.
Lance. Gary Roberts.
Cross country pest control. Right?
Right. So the whole, we got,
you know,
Marcano.
That's right. Marcano. I always want to say Gano. I love him.
So when you say your team, you're talking about your financial.
My financial boys. And listen, these guys, they're not, you know, nobody broke the bank. It's just one of those collaborations where if we want to get something done, we get something done. Do you know a guy named Stan Peach?
You mentioned him a couple of times. I did not know him.
Well, Stan Peach was at the tournament in Waxahachie, right? He was there. Great guy. Stan Peach is a beast.
Yeah. He was in the tournament. Stan
Peach. Stud. Right? I mean, this squad, man, Lance, Mark, Stan, and then we got Paul Italia. Kinda the quiet freaking Don of the whole operation. Right?
I kind of listen. Paul Italia.
God.
I tried to interview him and he was so nervous. And he asked me, he said, don't share that interview. I could see the man shaking.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, if you're gonna be friends with me, you're gonna have to get used to the camera.
Complete transparency, right? I'm with you. Hey, a lot of people, I remember
but I
being
asked
like
him,
that.
I think I put him in an uncomfortable position. I was like, so what's up? You like a high roller? What is it?
Hey, listen.
Let me ask you one question.
Yeah,
on the internet, there's people who look like high rollers, and there's people who are high rollers.
Yes.
Like, sometimes the images on the internet could be deceiving. Like you're driving you're driving a Benzo, but it's leased and it's a $650 nut. And if you lose your job, you have to turn in the car. It's like you're like Palatalia. He seems legit. Is he legit? Like,
I believe so, but here's the thing with me. I mean, let's just put it out there. I don't know the difference between $100 grand and $1 million. I don't know the difference.
Yeah,
we
talked about this.
Me with $100 grand for the weekend, and tell me, and I can be convinced that you are a baller. Here's what I do know about Paul is that every time that I tell him, hey man, this is the dream, he, just like my father-in-law, just like Stan Peach, just like Lance Hunt, just like Marcano, he tells me, easy, fella. Easy. From a business standpoint, we should look at it this way. I usually cuss them out immediately, tell them they have no vision and that I am done with them. And then 10 minutes later, everything they said makes perfect sense. Kind of the same stuff I try to do with you.
Like slow down, slow your roll.
Just think about this one thing. Do you have to do it or do you want to do it? Right? Make moves that you have to do for the business, but stop making moves that you want to do just so you can be cool. And yeah. I have, that rarely happens to me. I'm usually the guy who's kicking the sense into people. But with this squad, with the resources that with all of us in the building, we can easily take care of. It just makes life so much easier. So hats off to the money team.
Okay, you segued perfectly. But I would like to say that I forgot to add. So in this episode, I've inserted your interview from 2005. After this episode airs, you'll watch it, and then we'll come back, and I'm going to ask you thoughts about it.
Okay. I mean, did I contradict every single thing that I've ever done in my whole life?
I mean, dude, it just...
I was young man then. I was a young man then.
You're just Travis, man.
Okay, good.
I won't spoil.
Oh, man. Call me after this. Tell me, prepare me.
Also, since this is going to come up beforehand, I would like to let everyone know. So one of the first videos that I posted was my Travis Bagent, Jerry Caderet super match from 2005.
Tobacco.
I posted that.
Never
early.
Felt so violated when I left there.
I posted that early before I had discovered my way to restore the videos to HD. So I'm reposting that match, but
perfect.
It's being no.
Can we put that on your channel and not my channel, please? Thank you.
Listen. I'm reposting it with voiceover ARMTV radio vintage interviews with Travis Bagent, Jerry Caderet, Peter Milano, Cleve Dean.
What a tool.
Because I believe those interviews.
Cleve said that I wasn't very smart during that match.
Yeah. But
I'm just trying to figure. I want to see how many spelling bee trophies Cleve Dean has. That's all.
No,
That's
but
all.
what I'm
rest in peace, big fella. Damn.
One. I mean, dude, I was ahead of my time. Everyone knows it. All the new arm wrestlers that have hated on me. I mean, hate on me all you want. But motherfucker, Gary Roberts, dude, I was on it in 2005.
You OG,
2005.
Baby.
I was calling. So Cleve Dean posted on the Northeast message board. He posted, this is a setup. This is just for drama. Travis and Jerry, fake news. I like it.
Right, because Travis is too strong.
Yeah. So I call all of you guys and I record the interviews and I'm talking, this is some good shit. And it was like, dude, it was ahead of its time, man. So I'm intercutting all that and going to put some B-roll over it. It's classic.
some of that on my channel, just not the actual match. Thank you.
It's good shit. Anyways,
I'm in need of some more content. So everything back, anything with Travis Bagent in it from back in the day goes right to my channel for now. New deal.
So listen, this is time-consuming business. We're gonna have to rework that relationship.
Well, thank you very much, Travis. Let me ask you a question. The arm wrestling world has never seen anything like this. I mean, before the internet, there was no way, because the arm wrestling world didn't have the exposure that it needs, that it deserves. But, you know, then the internet came along and message boards and the ability to transfer information back and forth, kind of trash talking. But now with on TV radio, we can up till a couple days. I mean, the information is traveling so fast. I mean, what do you think about the fact that in the last couple of days, we've heard interviews from yourself, from Jerry Cadret, from Cleve Dean. There's no rumors. People know exactly what's going on because they're hearing it from the man himself or from Jerry Cadret. What can this do for the future of arm wrestling tournaments as far as building up the hype?
Oh, I think it's just terrific. Everything that you just said, you know, the fact that the message board is the closest thing we've had in the past, but however, you know, the way people type, you really can't hear the tone of their voice and exactly where they're coming from. So with this technology that you brought to us now, I think the possibilities are endless. Like you said, we're going to get, you know, minute-to-minute feedback on exactly what's going through people's minds. So it's great. I mean, it's tremendous. It's a beautiful thing for the sport of arm wrestling.
Now, speaking of message boards, Travis, I have to read some of the funniest stuff I've read in a long time. And let me just give you a couple quotes. And I want exactly that. People they can't read past the line of exactly what it is you're saying. Maybe you want to say a little bit more, but it's typing, so we all just kind of...
Yeah, and you know, my posts always get better when my wife's home. So if my wife's home and I narrate and she types, you know, everything's better. But that's why I had such a hard time arguing with people on that message board because although I do have a bachelor's degree in political science, I was also the best athlete in college, so I didn't always attend all my classes.
Okay, well, let me just cut right through the fat.
Let's get it.
King Travis Bagent. I have to ask you, have you, that title, King Travis, have you been this confident all your life?
Yes. I have. I mean, I've always. I've just been lucky and blessed with, you know, in my surroundings. I've always been the best. Pretty much. Very rarely was I not the best player on the team. Very rarely was I not the biggest, strongest, toughest guy around. So, yeah, pretty much. I'm a product of my environment.
Okay, here's a quote. I am the greatest living arm wrestler on the planet, ... All should give a nod to John Brzenk. Can you explain to me a little bit more about that?
Well, the fact is that when you see John Brzenk, I don't think that people, I do think that people give him his, you know, his just due, but, you know, the fact that he is who he is, to me, you know, he sends goosebumps every time I'm sitting there and I'm talking to him. And when I think about, you know, who he is and what he represents, it's amazing to me. So, and I also realize that I've surpassed John Brzenk in the arm wrestling world. And when I mean the arm wrestling world, I mean the masses. I mean the people who watch ESPN. I mean, if me and John walk down the street, there's no comparison, there's no comparison. I mean, everyone runs up to me and asks me who's this guy beside me, not even realizing who he is. So the fact of the matter is that my respect, 100% of my respect goes to John Brzenk. So if I'm going to respect the man, and I'm the greatest arm wrestler in the world, by far the only human being that has been able to take this sport from its remedial beginnings to now, it's so close to being the next poker, the next bowling, the next, you know, semi-big thing. Of course, we'll never reach the NFL and the Major League Baseball and the NBA, or not even the National Hockey League, but we can get to where bowling's getting. Bowling's a $5 million industry, you know, and $5 million in TV is not much money. So that's what I mean by that. I mean, give a nod to John Brzenk when you see him. Let him know he's the greatest. If I'm going to say he's the greatest, then goddamn he must be.
Now let me ask you, in another part of your quote, it says respect and disrespect go hand in hand. I don't play that game. What does that mean, Travis?
What does that means that I think that everyone changes their mind every day, 2 or 3 times a day. So when you're talking and your mind's wandering and you're going through life, you say things. Your actions speak for themselves as well. So sometimes you're respecting, sometimes it's disrespectful. There's too much of a fine line between respect and disrespect. You can respect someone too much and they think it's disrespectful. I mean, it's such a fine line there, and I can't find the definition for either one of them. I just think that people need to stop needing respect from everyone else. Just respect yourself and do your thing. Be happy. Calm down. Don't let what I say cause you not to sleep at night.
Okay, let's move on. I am the hardest working, best trained arm wrestler on the planet.
And that's more a product of my environment too, being that I started arm wrestling at 11, 12 years old. My training is so focused and so exact, and the fact that I can make money arm wrestling, so I don't need to work. All those things. Todd Hutchins is a beast. Chad Silvers, these guys train for arm wrestling. However, they also have to work a 50-hour schedule a week. I don't have that. I've got a 10-hour-a-week schedule, taking my kids to school, feeding them, taking them to the gym, and then I get to do my thing. So, once again, it's not that I would work harder than anyone else. It's just if you put the situation together, no one has the time to train the way that I do. And very few people have reached a level to where they can be focused on small details about arm wrestling, which to me is the only way to be the best.
King Travis Bagent is the smartest arm wrestler on the planet?
Well, by far. I mean, do I even need to explain that?
Well,
no one can have a conversation with me about arm wrestling. I'm entirely too focused on the small things that they don't even know is happening. They're still people are still doing bicep curls to get better at arm wrestling, Gary.
And they shouldn't be doing that?
I never seen nobody arm wrestle. I never seen nobody do a bicep curl while they were arm wrestling. Ever.
How did you become the fastest arm wrestler on the planet?
I think that not being afraid to explode, goes right back to the confidence thing. I mean, I'm not scared. I'm not intimidated. I'm not afraid to be the best. So when they say ready, get, I don't even never hear the go. Do they even say go anymore?
They're supposed to.
I think it's just ready, get. Whatever that gut is, that's when I just tend to fire off. Plus, my positioning, my setup is perfect. There's not a whole bunch of muscle and a whole bunch of tension before go, because you don't need it. I don't need to get up there, I mean, if I take 135 pounds and I lay it on my chest and then try to explode up, I'm going to have a much harder time with it than if I bring it down and bounce it off my chest. You cannot have your muscles already working and then try to get them to, explode. Your muscles have to go from 0 to, max capacity. And that's what I'm able to do.
How about this quote? I have the best timing in the sport. Now, I read that twofold. I see that you're probably talking about timings and timing the go, but could you also be talking about timing as in Travis Bagent decided to explode the year 2005, the same year that the sport decided to explode?
But let's not make no bones about it, Gary. I'm the reason the sport's exploding. I mean, if you think otherwise, then you're just, your name must, well, I don't want to say any names, but the fact of the matter is, if you can't see a direct correlation between Travis Bagent and the progression of the sport of arm wrestling, then it's just because you won't allow yourself to give me the credit. And I already know. You don't have to let me know. I know, and I tell people every day. So only the people who don't like me personally will deny that.
The reason you're more recognized than John Brzezinski is because you are considered the villain, the Darth Vader of arm wrestling. Is that what makes you the best?
Well, I think that I just get both ends. I mean, I think I'm extremely loved too. I mean, I went to a junior high school yesterday. There were 24 guest speakers. When I walked up there, everybody got on their feet and just cheered. They didn't clap one time for the other 21 people until they were finished talking. As soon as they called my name, they went crazy. So only people who have this jealous, sense that I've taken something from them, and what I mean is I've taken the spotlight off of a lot of the other weight classes, a lot of the other categories, you would say, and I've focused it. So, people are going to sleep in on Saturday and come to the tournament late because that's when I'm going to put on the show. So the jealous people involved in the inner circle of arm wrestling, the competitors, the promoters, different people like that, that's where the negativity comes. No one who's not in the arm wrestling world hates Travis Bagent, the arm wrestler. They love it.
Now, let's move on. What is different about the sport today that has never existed in the past? Arm wrestling might have been considered a little bit larger back when Over the Top movie came out, but the fact is, when some young man or young woman started arm wrestling back in 1986, there was no way for them to get hooked into the kind of information that they could get hooked in today. There's no way they could have found out the things that they needed about the pros, about the T. Bagents of the time. Today, Travis, there's arm wrestlers that started arm wrestling this year because of watching ESPN. They're relatively new to the sport. They're totally new guys. And they're listening to you right now talk. And you are saying you have the most aggressive hit ever. What do the guys out there, the new guys, the guys that just started the sport, that dream about being Travis Bagent, as good and aggressive and as fast as him, what are some of the things those guys need to do?
Those guys need to look deep inside themselves and really answer the question, can you handle being the best at anything? Because it's not easy. A lot of people, it's the same person who walks in and sits at the back of the classroom because he thinks that maybe there the teacher won't call on him. He's not the guy that's going to be able to walk, into the Arnold Classic, get his name called, come out, throw his hands in the air, and let everyone know that he's here and put that kind of pressure on himself. So I think the first thing that any young man needs to realize, he needs to be honest with himself and let himself really, 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 really answer the question, can he be the best? And if he can't be the best, what can he be? And then once he decides his ceiling, like my ceiling is, as tall as the Empire State Building. A lot of people have a 6-foot ceiling. Gary, I know you have an 8-foot ceiling. Right now, you're banging your fucking head on the ceiling. Excuse my language.
Language.
Me, on the other hand, I have no ceiling. Mine's so high, so when I reach a certain level, I'm not peaked out. I'm just beginning. There's always room for improvement. Some people, they let their confidence and their brain stop their body from doing anything. So I think the most important thing is mentally, can you really be the best? I mean, can you put in the time? Can you really believe it? And then, if you still want to be the best and you're not sure you can now, just talk yourself into it. I talk myself into stuff all the time. It just takes a few hours, a few days, a few weeks. But you keep telling yourself that your freaking hair is better bald than it is with a mullet. If you talk yourself into it, you'll be able to rock that bald head all week, and you'll love it.
Okay, let me ask you. Many arm wrestlers in this country regard Ron Bass as one of the greatest legends in the sport also. And it says here that Ron Bass is your best student.
I've changed the Ron Bass whole persona. Ron Bass was the nice guy who really thought that going to a tournament and receiving a first-place trophy was good enough. The occasional $500 in Vegas or the occasional $600-700 at some money tournament somewhere in the United States that was very low hyped, and that was acceptable to him. Ask Ron Bath where he's going to be tomorrow, and his first thing that comes out of his mouth will be, "Show me the money."
Show you the money.
So he has evolved. Where do you think he got that from?
It's got to be Travis Bagent.
He got it from Travis Bagent. He got it from Travis Bagent. Of course he did. Because if we don't demand that these people improve the purses and the notoriety and everyone knows that as soon as you put a dollar amount on anything, it changes the whole perception of the event. It changes everything. So if we don't put pressure on people to pay us, they're never going to, ever.
Amen. Amen, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Travis Bagent, for being online with us.
I have one more thing, Gary Roberts, to say. I think that Gary Roberts needs to do an interview with the reason that Travis Bagent was given the stage to be who I am. The most influential person in arm wrestling besides myself. You need to interview Mr. Sevan Matosian. What the hell have you been thinking?
I plan on interviewing Sevan.
You need to get him on immediately. And whenever you have a question, whenever you're not clear about something, let him be your eyes and ears. Let him give you your opinion. Because he is by far the man.
Well, he's the man, but I am also the king of my domain, T. Bagent. Gary Roberts.
Don't be like the rest of these promoters, Gary. Don't be scared of competition.
I am not. I am not.
Right, brother.
We have to let you go, Travis. I will see you Saturday.
All right. Thanks a lot. I'll see you guys Saturday.
We hope you like the content. Thanks for stopping by. Please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Now click that little bell icon so you get notified. This was Gary Roberts and Travis Bagent live.
Damn it!
Do something else. Don't ever say them two names to